Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a close look at a property market that's changing incredibly fast. We're talking about Phuket.
Yeah, the boom there is, well, pretty unprecedented. Our goal today is to figure out why. Why is this island shifting from just a top holiday spot to this global hub for luxury living and investment?
It's a fascinating shift, and a lot of our understanding today comes from the perspective of people who've been there for the long haul. We're leaning heavily on insights from Ocean Worldwide. They're a luxury real estate agency right there in Phuket, and they've been operating since 2004.
Wow, since 2004, so they've really seen the whole arc.
Exactly. That experience is key. Their director, Sandra O'Neill, she's seen all the ups and downs, helped literally thousands of families, investors, find their footing over the years. They're seeing this current boom up close. All right, so it's not just theory, it's what's actually happening on the ground. So, okay, our mission for this dive: unpack the money coming in, look at who these new buyers are, and see how developers are scrambling to keep up. Let's start with money then. The scale is just huge. Projections suggest the total value of residential property sales could top, what, 45 billion baht?
Yeah, 45 billion baht, and that's just for the first half of 2025. It's a staggering figure for 6 months.
Incredible. And who's spending all this money?
Well, that's the headline, really. It's global money. Foreign buyers now make up almost 60% of all property deals there, nearly 60%.
60%. So the island's economy is now really tied to international investment flows.
Absolutely. And the growth rates confirm it. CBRE Thailand, back in 2024, reported a 201% jump in condo sales year on year.
201%.
Yeah, and villas were up massively, too, 148%. Both huge numbers, but that condo figure.
Why such a difference? Why are condos rocketing even faster than villas? Still huge growth for villas, but 201% for condos is wild.
It is. And I think it points towards investment yield. Condos, generally, they're an easier entry point for foreign investors, right? They slot neatly into rental programs, management pools. It screams rental income focus. The villa growth, still very strong at 148%, often represents that sort of capital appreciation play or a pure lifestyle buy for personal use. But that 201%, that suggests a big hunt for yield.
Okay, so investors are chasing income returns, not just a holiday home.
Seems like it. And this kind of exponential growth, it builds confidence, which then pulls in the big developers. We're not just talking local outfits. Major international players are now investing significantly. It's seen as a serious emerging market.
Right. Which brings us to the why. How did Phuket make this leap from, reliable tourist spot to this luxury lifestyle hub? It can't just be luck.
No, definitely not luck. It's quite strategic. I mean, you start with the foundation. Phuket already had world-class tourism facilities, great service standards. That was the base.
But that's been true for a while. What changed?
Proactive investment, especially in infrastructure. We're talking a major expansion of Phuket International Airport. More flights, more capacity, handling more people, both tourists and potential residents. And crucially, there are these long-term plans bubbling away for better transport on the island. Things like light rail, maybe new roads, stuff designed to connect the place better, make it function more like a unified residential zone, not just separate beaches.
Okay, so making it easier to get there and easier to get around once you're there. But you mentioned lifestyle. What does that mean beyond beaches and hotels for these high net worth types?
It means building other pillars, things that make people want to stay long-term. So Phuket's actively developing as a center for top-tier education. Think international schools, high-quality medical care, like the big private hospitals, plus sports facilities and high-end wellness centers. These attract people who aren't just popping in for 2 weeks, but maybe want to spend several months or even relocate.
And the cost factor must play a role too, even with land values going up over the last, 2 decades?
Oh, absolutely. It's still very competitive. If you compare the cost of living things like good international schooling, private healthcare in Phuket versus, say, Hong Kong or Singapore.
Big difference.
Huge difference. Phuket offers that international standard, but often at a significantly lower cost. That's a massive pull factor for families and long-term residents.
Okay, but with demand surging like this, and you hear talk of supply maybe not keeping pace, isn't there a risk things could overheat? Are ordinary locals getting priced out, or is this boom happening in its own sort of luxury bubble?
That's a really important question. A lot of the new development, especially at the super high-end, the luxury villas, it is targeting that global buyer. So in a way, it's somewhat separate from the regular domestic market, but the pressure is definitely there. And developers know it. They realize they need to get projects built, get supply onto the market, partly to try and stabilize things.
Let's talk about one of those developers. The source material mentions AssetWise PCL. They do the title brand. Their CEO is Kramshet Vipampong. How do they view this demand?
Their view is, well, it's ambitious. Global, really. Kramshet Vipampong basically said they see their potential market as, and I quote loosely here, 7 billion people worldwide.
7 billion. Okay, that's thinking big.
It is. It means they think any wealthy person, anywhere, is a potential customer. And crucially, they believe current supply, even with the boom, is nowhere near enough to meet that potential demand.
So if that's your mindset, how does it shape your strategy? What are they building?
Well, the core is still what they call leisure residences, but they're focusing on delivering quickly, efficiently, while keeping quality up. Especially for condos, they aim for relatively accessible price points where possible. And they load up on facilities, resort-style pools, gyms, full property management, everything an international buyer expects for a premium lifestyle and for good rental returns.
And the success of the title seems to be fueling expansion. They have, what, 5 more projects planned for 2025?
Yes, and they're not just doing more of the same. They're strategically moving up market. So alongside the successful condo lines, they're now developing these ultra-luxury pool villas, like Villa Curara.
Targeting a different buyer entirely.
Completely. That's for the high net worth individual, the HNWI, looking for total exclusivity, privacy, a different game from the condo investment market.
And then there's the move into hotels. That feels like a significant step.
It's huge. Partnering with IHG Hotels and Resorts for the Voca Phuket Bang Tao project, that's pivotal. It does a couple of things. One, it gives them a recurring revenue stream, diversifying away from just selling properties.
Right.
But maybe more importantly, bringing in a major international brand like IHG. That signals quality, stability. It makes their whole offering look more solid, more institutional to global investors. It helps build them into a full-service lifestyle brand, not just a builder.
Right. Let's shift back to the buyers themselves. It sounds like there's a real spectrum of property available now.
Yeah, the market strength is partly in that diversity. You've got everything from, say, relatively affordable condos that might appeal to digital nomads or remote workers.
Right up to the top end.
Exactly. Ultra-luxury beachfront villas. Serious privacy, serious amenities.
And the prices reflect that range. Luxury villas in the prime spots, they can go from 25 million baht up to well over 100 million baht, apparently.
Confirms that ultra-prime segment is really driving a lot of value. Now, who are these buyers? If we look at asset-wise, again, over half their customers are foreign nationals. Validates their global focus. And interestingly, these aren't naive buyers. They tend to understand Thailand's ownership rules, the leasehold system.
Yeah.
And apparently they often pay in cash.
Cash payments, that suggests serious confidence, doesn't it? And liquidity. You mentioned the ownership rules. The leasehold system is key here for foreigners, isn't it?
It's fundamental. Foreign nationals generally can't own land outright in Thailand. So the leasehold system gives them secure, long-term rights, usually 30 years, often renewable to the building and the use of the land. It provides that security and control that international capital needs before committing.
And the type of buyer is broadening too.
Yeah.
Beyond the traditional European and Asian investors.
Yeah, definitely seeing more interest from that whole remote work crowd, the digital nomads, people who want that high standard of living, the good weather, the infrastructure, but combined with those competitive costs we talked about. Phuket ticks a lot of boxes for them.
And you also mentioned the legal side, favorable regulations helping things along.
That's another piece of the puzzle. Relatively clear and established legal frameworks in Thailand for foreign property investment make the whole process more attractive, more stable compared to maybe some other destinations. It adds to the overall appeal. So putting it all together, what we're seeing is Phuket transforming. It's moved beyond just being a beautiful place for a holiday. It's become this strategically developed hub for global lifestyle and investment. And that's been driven by serious infrastructure work and some very smart thinking from developers.
And the results are already undeniable, those numbers again. Nearly 60% foreign buyers now, a forecast of over 45 billion baht in sales just in the first half of next year. I mean, the momentum is incredible. So here's something to think about, a final thought for you listening. With these competitive living costs, the deliberate investment in becoming an education and medical destination, the infrastructure upgrades, could Phuket actually start to challenge the really established expat hubs in Asia for long-term residents? Or is it destined to stay mainly as this playground for luxury investment and part-time living? Where that balance lands, That's really the next chapter for the island.
It's certainly a story that's changing fast. And look, if you want to explore the properties, understand the trends more deeply, you can get insights of the people who've been navigating it for decades. Ocean Worldwide, they really know this market inside out. You can find more from them directly. Just go to oceanwwp.com.
Great insights. That's all for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.